Listen, we back with another episode of KLK Promotions, and today's a very vivid day, and I say that because we have a bright star in the building. Introduce yourself.
Man, my name is Nando, Corpse, owner of Fade and Combs Barber Lounge here for barbershops in the Jacksonville area. Um, Founder and creator of the Jackson Lee Barber Beauty Expo. I'm a barber, I'm a father, I'm a husband, barber educator for Urban Edge, Coco Hair Pro, and multiple other companies.
What's your Instagram?
Nando Corpse, just Nando Corpse.
You know what makes me happy that you came on this podcast, bro? Because I love the way you advertise yourself.
Yeah, so my Instagram name. A lot of people, you know how a lot of people would say, "Oh, barber" or such and such. I never wanted to like label myself as a barber. Barbering is what I started doing, but I'm Nando Corpse. Like I am me. Like I anything I do, whether I'm a business owner, I'm an entrepreneur, I'm a lot of things. So like I love. Whatever I have in my mind in that moment, that's what I do. So that's who I am, Nando Corpse.
I want to say this. I was going to tell you this earlier when you came, but I wanted to say this on live camera. From my view, you have a lot of admiration for me because I admire you as a person because the way. That's why when I made the flyer, I said more than just a brand.
Yeah.
Because you're not a brand.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, technically he is a brand.
Yeah, but he doesn't. His brand doesn't have a value to what he does. He just does it all. He does it all in one connection. Like he doesn't.
He made himself a brand, which is what everybody's supposed to be doing. And it kind of goes back to what we normally like be debating about. You making yourself a brand instead of like expecting a brand to like, make you as a person.
You know what a big part in that is that he'll agree with you that everything he does is very collectively.
Yeah.
So he doesn't see in this. The reason I say this too, I'm not just saying things out there. It's because I move like that as well. Like I don't just do anything randomly. Like everything I do is collectively. It's kind of like playing chess and then playing Uno. You know what I'm saying? Like you come back when the game turns.
Well, the main reason that I came on, I've been seeing what you've been putting out, which is actually good, and it was actually very intriguing. Like I seen people's opinions and stuff like that. You just mentioned chess.
Hey, listen. It's crazy because like I feel like everybody who comes on here is always having I wouldn't call it an issue, but it's always concerned about the opinions of the people who has been here.
Yeah, I mean, opinions of people are good, but you also have to understand where the opinion is coming from. And where the criticism is coming from, because if the criticism and opinions are coming from somebody that doesn't really add nothing to society, well, that doesn't really matter, But I mean, some people that have been in here, it matters, So I'm not trying to come at anybody directly, but I've always said that you have to understand where's the opinion coming from, because if the opinion is coming from somebody that doesn't add anything to your life, why should it matter? Like, why should it bother you? But there's a lot of things that that I've seen that is good. Is talking specifically about my industry that I wanted to add. So it's really good, and part of that is we talk about somebody caring about their brand, and I'm the type of guy that there's space for everybody in my team, in my brand, but you have to work for it, right?
Yeah.
Because I had to work for it. Like, for those people that don't understand, like, I was cutting hair at 13 in my bathroom. My brother was my first client. My mom got diagnosed with cancer when I was 15. My mom died when I was 18. I was in the streets when I was 18. Then I, kind of took on myself. My dad took me in, but we had problems, so I went on my own. So a lot of things that I did, I had to do on my own. Nobody really trusted the vision.
And I want to say something on that, Nando, because like I feel like that's just like your story. We could call like your story is something that many people who's around you, whoever's like getting to know like who Nando is, or who's fitting comes as a brand or anything, like it's getting to know like that story, like what happened to you, like how do you became a barber, what happened to your mom and stuff like that. And I feel like certain people who might be around you way too much or something might get the idea of like, oh, like he might be using that as a way of marketing himself or something like that. And somebody who has like been in a situation where like you have lost somebody in your life, especially when it comes to like somebody so close to you, which is your mom. It's not just like an uncle or something like, it's like your mom,
an immediate person to
exactly. How do you like manage like the like, no, I wouldn't call it opinions, but how do you manage like the view from other people into your life?
Well, first of all, let's start that you don't. I never wanted to use like, oh, my mom died, and I never wanted to make this a story. This is a reality. You know,
Exactly.
it's like, you know, track my record. You know, you like. Everybody in the city knows me, so like there's nothing that you could really say about me that not everybody really knows already. So track my record, but the reality is that there is no way that you can handle that. You know, there's no words or there's no situation. What happened is when my mom died, I was always a good kid. I was never like doing bad. Like when my mom dies, I never took a moment to like really work on myself or talk to someone. So I started going to these other things like, you know, drinking or smoking, or I never did that. So my mom falling into that, I started getting all these other resources that wasn't my source, which was God, my family. That was my source. And the reason that a lot of companies and a lot of people start failing is because they get away from their source and start relying on these other resources, and you know, they fall. So that's exactly what happened with me. But relying on those resources made me realize, like, where would your mother want you, right? Because your mom always want good. So like I know a lot of people that have been into the situation, and then they take the whole situation bad, and then they turn into like robbing or jail. So I was like, who do I want to be?
You know, there's a very big word that you said, and everything you just said, there was a big word that I admire so much. You said you live in reality.
Yeah.
And that's something that hit me very hard too, because it's kind of like a lot of people would use that
Reality as an excuse.
yeah, because it's like it's a valid one.
Yeah.
It's valid. But look, we haven't got to the questions, and it's crazy that I say that because the first question is this: Fernando released a book. What is the name of the cover?
Well, bro, you know what? Now that you say that, it's funny because I was always super bad in school and stuff, and I've actually thought about writing a book, and bro,
What will your book be about?
No. What would it be called? Because a name has a lot of guidelines to somebody's life. What would it be called?
And I feel like a name could actually like tell you what to expect from the book.
I don't know, bro, but I don't know if I would call it a name but I mean,
What about Nando's story?
no, I guess like I guess like persistency, you know.
Exactly. Or
You know,
like, I'll be, like,
persistency,
figure it
because
out.
like I just got tatted in my legs, bro. I got tatted my logo, and a lot of people, why will you tag your logo in your leg? Was because I was persistent to it. I had to literally kick the door open for me to get fading cones. So fading cones is where it's at, right? I started cutting hair at 13. Everybody else that was in the game had 10 years on me, was way better, could cut better. So I always had to be persistent to be where I'm at
Like
today.
you pretty much like started like into this industry like late, you could say.
No, I started early, but I started with so many dogs that it was hard for me to make
Yeah,
a
but
name.
No, but that's fine though, because you started with so many dogs that you became one.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. When I say like you started early, I mean like you was probably like the youngest one.
Yeah, I was the youngest one. Yeah,
That's
I
what
was
I'm
the
saying,
youngest.
yeah.
Yeah,
Hey,
for sure.
For the next question, it says, "Do you believe in fate?"
Heck yeah.
Really?
Babe?
No, fate.
Oh, faith.
Okay.
Fate. All right. To be honest, I ain't even gonna cap to you. I don't even know the real definition of fate. To be honest.
To be honest with you, I feel like fate is. I feel like they try to take faith for fate in the sense of everything happens.
I
like
thought
because
you said faith.
no, fate, because like a lot of people don't understand. Okay, so I'm a very big believer in Christ, which you know,
Yeah.
this, right? It's just in the ways that I show it might be a little. It might bother people, right?
Yeah.
But the way that I believe in God is a certain way that I have. So it's kind of like this, right? So if you're Christian and you believe in God a certain way, why would you judge me because you know what I'm saying? I praise God a different way.
Yeah.
So fate to me is like a word that they try to use to remove like a spiritual meaning from something. Like, oh, it happens for a reason, but it has no fate. Feel what I'm saying?
Okay.
So it's kind of like fate.
Like it's not in a specific thing. It's more
No,
like,
it is. Is it? They just try to use it in a sense where they try to, I guess, try to be like selfish to the name. Instead of using faith, they use fate. Like, oh, it's gonna happen regardless. So that's how I see it. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, coming to the next question, it says, if you could change anything about the world, what would it be?
Bro, I guess like
Take your time, bro.
that. I don't know how to really say this, but I would just say like bad leadership, bro. Like there's so many people. Like, you ever had this saying like money changes people?
Mm-hmm.
I don't believe money changes people.
Me
I
too.
believe money brings out the real you. So like, if I could change something, would be right. Like really, like the system that some of us live in. Like sometimes we give so much power to like one person. You know, that's what I really would change. Like you just say you're a big Christ believer. Like I agree with you. Like some people try to like judge you for it, but we have to go through what the Bible says. But like, at least for me, like everything that happened, nothing that happened to me happened because of man. It didn't happen for no president. It didn't happen for no boss. It happened because God gave me the talent to be here. And I was humble enough to understand that this talent is not mine and it was given to me. And what am I doing with that, right? So one thing that I would change in the world is like those leaders, when God gives you that talent, like don't just take it for you to like, yeah, you should have that
your own
Fendi bag
advantage.
or that Louis bag, but what are you doing investing into people? And not necessarily like you could go around the city. There's a lot of stuff that I do in the city that I don't post, giving back. But you could go in my circle and people could tell you like, yo, like I could vouch for that, right? I could vouch that he did that. So like that would be one thing. Like with your resources and stuff, like who could you really like be able to help? I know you can't help everybody because in reality, not everybody deserves your help. But like, who are those people that really like are willing to like work for an op? And that's one thing that I would change. Like people that are leaders, like to really be like leaders to like empower other
But
people.
you do know that in order for you to think like that, you do have to be a leader.
Yeah.
And that's something really hard. This is why I tell people like you won't see selfishness if you're not a selfish person.
But it goes back to like giving that person so much power to take decisions over your life. Like like you I might vote for a person today and I think that he's a great person, right? But he's not in charge of my life. Like at the end of the day, God is in charge of my life. So like, yeah, like you should put trust into somebody, but you should know that person can also fail too and stuff.
Facts.
So like,
Exactly,
like we put certain people in a pedestal, and we have to understand that person can fail too. And if he fails, you can't change because the only one that can't fail is God. So that's one thing that I would change, like certain leaders or to change other people's opinion in case if this leader is out. Going back to, don't rely on the resources. Go to the main source. Who's the main source, which is God.
We have a very interesting question here. It says, "How honest are you?"
I don't feel nobody's 100% honest. I try to be as honest as I can, but I feel like sometimes we're not honest with ourselves.
That's a deep one.
I feel like a lot of times we're and I'm gonna give you an example, right? Like I coach basketball now, and my first love was basketball. And I always lied to myself. I was like, yo, I'm a baller. And the reality is
You
that
still do, bro.
and no, I can play. I can play
No, no,
ball,
hey,
but
but
I'm not a
I know what
baller.
you're
But
saying.
you
You know what I'm
still
saying?
do a lot to yourself. You still make it seem like
Nah, it's a
you're this
difference.
baller or whatever.
I'm positive. I
no,
don't
hey,
lie
no,
to
I'm
myself.
not gonna
but
lie. I'm
positive.
not gonna lie. You alright.
But what I'm trying to say with this is like, when I mean not being honest with myself, is like you're a baller, but are you putting in the work? Because there's one thing, you might have the talent, but if you don't have the work ethic to be that, you're not gonna be it. So like I was not like I thought about this like literally at 18, 19, 20 when I was into barbering. I was like, I was honest with myself and I was like, I did not put 100% in this field of my life.
Yeah.
So that's why I never went to college to play ball. That's why I didn't do none of these things. But I put 100% into cutting hair. And that's why I'm where I'm at. Because I put 110% every single day. I really wake up at 6, 7 a.m. Like, I push to wake up at 5 a.m. and just be by myself, think by myself. How can I be different? How can I get better? I'm always educating myself on. Bro, I was always so bad in school and GPAs. Like, I thought myself was dumb. Like, but you have to be honest with yourself. Like, no, you're not dumb. You're just not invested in this. You have to take time out of your, and if you go back to the Bible, we have to deny the flesh. You know, your flesh is going to tell you to do this or to not. So you have to be honest with yourself and say, yo, I'm not good at this. What do I need to do to be good? So yeah, like I feel like I try to be as honest as I can be, but I mean nobody's 100% honest. With, you know.
Who is Fernando?
Bro, I'm just a young guy from Fajardo, Puerto Rico that came to Jacksonville. I'm a Duval Rican, bro. I really say that. Like a lot of people get at me, oh, you're Puerto Rican or you're. Listen, bro. I love the fact that I was born in Puerto Rico and stuff, but a lot of people throw a lot of dirt in my city. Like I like you gotta understand. Like I had my kid in this city. My mom died in this city. My mom brought me to the city. Like I bought a house in this city. I've had 4 businesses in this city. I'm about to open a school in this city. I've helped people. I've employed 40 plus barbers in this city. So like, I love this city. The same way that I love
like you adapt
me being a Puerto Rican. You know.
Like you adapt the city to yourself. Like
yeah, bro.
Like,
this is my city,
like
bro. The same way that people rep New York and rep everything. But yeah, like Fernando is just a kid from Fajardo, Puerto Rico that is proud. You know, that first of all, I'm a Christian. I'm a Puerto Rican. I'm a father. I'm a husband. Like, I'm all that stuff. But, I'm just a loving, caring person. And I just aspire to grow every single day and looking to perfect myself I'm not perfect, but I'm looking to perfect myself every single day. Like, you have to reach for perfection. That's just who I am. I'm always trying to grow. I'm always trying to get better in everything.
And I'm gonna ask you this, right? And I'm gonna try to ask you this in the easiest manner that doesn't involve anybody taking it sideways. You being who you are, and not even being who you are, walking as you are, because you're a person that you're a person walks for yourself. It's very hard for you to hide yourself, because it's like you're so yourself, right? Like, how do you deal with the hate that you get because of you being yourself?
Bro, to be honest, I don't pay attention on who hates. To be honest, like
you can probably notice it, but it's not like
I notice it, but it doesn't bother me because
I feel like
that's just what I do.
That's sorry to cut you off or anything, but this is something that I feel like me being around you, lately, now that you're like working in our shop and stuff like that, I've noticed that we might have a little thing in common, and it's when it comes to like how we kind of like manage our surroundings. Like the people surrounding, like everything that's around, because I've noticed in the barbershop, like you're being yourself, but at the same time, it's like you kind of like adapt the whole situation into yourself. You know what I mean? So I kind of do the same thing, and that's why probably like you in your corner, I'm in my corner, and like like we talk or whatever, but like you might interact with more people than with me, and I do the same thing. I interact with everybody else than with you or something. But
Sueltas el teléfono, loco.
I received something about it. But I've noticed that, bro. It's like you kind of like you like to adapt everything into you. You know what I'm saying? Like you don't want to have to adapt to anything or any situation or any scenario. And I just kind of wanted to like put that out there. You know what I'm saying? Like that way that I noticed that shit.
So, but
you go ahead.
Yeah. So like you always have to adapt to where you're at. Because, always. You trying to sell who's real, like who's really
exactly.
like 100%.
But that's the thing. But like right now, like not everybody is like. I wouldn't say not right now. I feel like this is just like a general thing. Like not everyone is able to see themselves as a brand and actually, because I feel like that comes with a brand mentality of like you believing in yourself and knowing that like I have value into what I'm bringing to any room that I walk into. You know what I'm saying? So
you have value. Yeah,
exactly. It's
you have to be careful of what you say.
Even if everybody in the world wanted to be a brand, they can't.
Yeah.
Because a lot of times, like, people don't see this, but it's kind of like this, right? You have to create a brand for somebody else to wear it. Yeah. Because that's what's gonna make your brand. So
that's a fact.
A bigger point of people believing in themselves is not the fact that they can't do it; they just believe more in you. Like, for example,
I'm gonna be honest with that, bro. Like, one thing that I wanted to add to that, I cut a lot of football players, a lot of football players.
Okay, before you continue with that, you emphasize football players.
Yeah.
I want you to go into that. Why football players?
Well, when I started cutting hair, right in 2015, 16, 17, the Jaguars started being real good here in Jacksonville. You know, we got to the AFC Championship, and you know we don't have a lot here in Jacksonville. We don't have basketball, we don't have baseball. So I was like, the thing that we had was NFL.
And you literally just say you a Duval Rican, so it's like you probably been growing up and like.
So you know, getting up here, Jacksonville. So I said, I want to cut the Jacksonville Jaguars. That's who I want to cut.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's what I want to cut. And I'm about to put a couple of things because a lot of people say, yo, I cut the Jaguars, but, you know, I'm going to tell you, like, a lot of people can say, yo, I cut this and that, but not how I do it. Not how I do it. Just
break
because,
that down.
Not because, and I'm going to break it down because it's not the same. I cut a lot of football players, you know, because that's who I started. That's who put me on to cutting rappers and all that stuff. That's who put me on, and I'm always thankful for football players, especially for Daniel Thomas. Daniel Thomas, my best friend, number 20.
Shout out to Daniel Thomas.
Yeah, safety for the Jags. That's my dog. But the way that I'm gonna break it down is like there's a lot of barbers that could cut a lot of people. You know, somebody can call you, hey, I'm gonna pay you such and such for you to come cut me. That's cool. You cut that person that one time. There's a lot of barbershops and there's a lot of barbershops in football colleges and NFL. They got a lot of barbershops.
Like
but
stuff.
I was the only barber that cut players not going into the stadium. Never went into the stadium. I never stepped foot into a stadium to cut them. They came to me. And it ain't the same thing.
Oh, I already know where you're going. I already know
it
you're going.
ain't the same thing you getting hired
to do one job.
To do one job or to get taken into that facility and then they go to you. You're already there. No. I have a lot of people that have the ability to get a haircut in the facility and they wait till they leave for me to go to their house or they come to my house or... I mean, bro, how many times can you say, yo, I'm going to go to this dude's house? And I don't even post this. You go to the... I feel like if you have the ability to... If you're you know, if you're a person that are of high level or and you have, you know, you're a brand, right? A big brand.
Money doesn't speak.
And you have the ability to get a haircut right here because they brought him to you, but you're like, no, I'm going to pass on that. I'd rather wait on my homie to bring them to my house. Like, bro, they not bringing them to their house, you know? Like you know, and to me, bro, that's more than money, bro. That's love.
Yeah, that's value, because it's like, you know, they valuing the fact that like you're putting your work in.
There's a friendship in there.
Exactly my point. So I'm not a barber, bro. I'm this people's psychiatrist, bro. I'm talking to them. Like they have a moment to where they don't even have to worry. They're not a football player at that moment. Exactly, they're just somebody else, and I can talk to my barber, and I can get a clean haircut, have a good conversation, and that's what I bring. I don't bring you a haircut. I bring you an experience, right? And whatever you want to talk about, and that's what I'm saying. It ain't the same thing, but that's when I learned how to brand yourself, because when you're doing something good, somebody's always gonna hate, and the best way for you to kill them is with success. So I was just with. By the way, I want to give another shout out to Camden Cooper, #1 basketball player in the state. I don't give a damn. He's gonna be the next big thing. He is already the next big thing.
Shout out. What's his name again?
Camden Cooper. They were screaming to him. They were screaming to him yesterday, like, overrated. You know, because you know they were doubling him up. Ended up scoring 25 points, 10 rebounds, and the kid went crazy. But what I'm trying to say is, Cam, let me tell you this: whenever you're good, things like this will happen, and that's when you gotta show up.
No, and that's when you gotta. You know, when you don't get that hate, that's when you actually supposed to wear it. Cause like, like if you're not getting no hate, bro, trust me, you're not doing enough.
Me cutting these football players made me realize, like, I got certain brand. I got a brand, but who am I? Like, who's Nando? Like Nando, just because I cut certain person or I might get certain thing, that doesn't make me treat him different as a barber. Like you know, I wanna work to where eventually, bro, he can even tell you, like, when I got called to call some soccer players that I didn't have a chance, I called one of my barbers. I know a lot of barbers that will say, no, I'm not going to give this chance to my barber because he might outshine me.
Yeah, they might even say it like that, but they will do anything to do it themselves. This is
Yeah,
thing,
but you
bro.
got to
Look,
put in the
like,
work.
Like I have to, I'm gonna be honest with you, bro. Like, you know, I'm working in one of your shops right now, and I feel like this is something you probably don't need, but I'm gonna go ahead and get out of my way and like and do this real quick. I have to, ¿cómo lo puedo decir? Como dátela.
Yeah.
Como que I gotta give you your flowers.
Yeah, your flowers, yeah.
I gotta give you your flowers because believe it or not, bro, like I've been seeing your process, like maybe not as long as like other people that might know you, or like the people that I got to meet you with or anything, but I've been seeing like how you put that work in, you know what I mean? I remember before I even thought about
still
being a barber,
to this day.
Exactly,
like,
and that's the thing. Like it's crazy how the consistency and like and then the amount of work you actually put in. Like it's not just like talking about it or anything. And it's like we're talking about it right now. Like if you're not doing enough, like you're not gonna get hated. Now when you get hated, like instead of like being part of the hate, I feel like you should watch why that thing is being hated. You know what I'm saying?
I'm gonna ask you something. Are you one of those people that you can achieve a million things and you still feel like you haven't done nothing?
I did for a minute, but after I had a kid, and I realized, like, God did this for me, bro. And can I be vulnerable right now?
No. No. I need you to be vulnerable because I'm not gonna lie to you. This podcast was not for the purpose that people thought, right? And this is something that I told him directly before you came, because there was a big purpose. I told him we were just eating, right? I told him, hey, I want Fernando to come because I wanted to have a conversation with you. You feel me? Because I see a lot of traits that you have and you are showing that I've seen in my circle that I haven't seen them explode because I haven't had somebody with the vulnerability.
And look, bro. Sorry to cut you off. Like, bro, I'm a person, bro. I admire people's talents. You know what I mean? And I could notice when somebody has a talent and like, you know, I let them know about it, but at the same time, like you can't really like give somebody like too much like expectations. I feel like they'll like go crazy or anything. But for example, Chris has a big talent that like I feel like he like creates a scenario in his mind and he brings it into reality. So like I've noticed that. So like what I do now, like this is something he might not notice, like. Since I know that once he gets something in his mind and he actually like pay attention to it and he wants to do it, he's gonna bring it into reality somehow, some way. He's gonna make it happen. So it's like, I feel like I'm like como like the jackpot of ideas or whatever.
Yeah.
Como que yo pienso cualquier vaina y se lo menciono lo que sea. Hace como 2 meses y pico. Yo le había mencionado a Chris, vamos a traer a Fernando para esto y que lo otro, pero estamos en la limusina, estamos empezando, tú me entiendes, un proyecto nuevo. Él también tenía un montón de ideas. Tú me entiendes, porque de tigre, te digo la verdad, es otra cosa también. Nosotros hacemos esto, lo que sea, pero uno en realidad no le da explicación a la gente. The amount of like other things that we actually do, the amount of things that he actually do. Yeah. Like for example, I was in the shop all day. You was there too, like.
And no one will see it until they see it.
Exactly.
You know, it's gonna take years. It's gonna take either months or years in order for people to see an overnight success.
Facts.
That's a fact.
So like people is always gonna think it's an overnight success, but it actually took you years.
Well, look,
there, you know?
I've been seeing this conversation, and I kind of had an idea for some reason. Like me knowing you from my perspective, like in my own side, and knowing him, I would think to myself, I was like, yo, these people have like a mentality, like they think in certain things like the same way, and like they have like talking about both of you guys. Like for some reason, I can have like my empathy allows me to like get into y'all both, and I can see when like somebody will match energies with Chris, or like if somebody will match energy with you. That's why like if we're outside, like for example, I'm not gonna put the example of any scenario in a specific, but if me and you are outside, Fernando, like I could tell who you're like. If there's somebody who comes around, like no mentioning no names, pero te acuerdas el día que estábamos para allá arriba, desde que yo vi fulano que se acercó mucho, I already knew like that's somebody that you're not gonna be cool with, cause like. I can manage to know like who's somebody that you'll be alright with, and it's the same thing with Chris.
I'm the type of guy, bro. I always, you know, mess around with people and I always interact with people, but at the same time, I'm reserved on certain things that I share. So if I'm sharing a lot of things, or I'm sharing a lot of things that I don't really share with a lot of people, like you know, which Alex might know who. what some of those things are, that should mean something to you because I don't always do it with you.
No. But this is the thing, though. And it's crazy that you say that because I'm the same way, and I'm gonna be fully honest with you. The reason I'm not even talking in this podcast is because I'm actually like admiring and acknowledging what you're saying because a lot of things that you're saying really fit into my life. Yeah. But it's just like I feel like everybody has their own moment to shine, their moment to shine. You feel what I'm saying? So when it comes to you, bro, I'm gonna go ahead and say this out there. And I don't want to sound weird or anything, but like I can read your vibe and like. People don't understand what an energy wave is. A lot of people don't understand that. People don't feel it because people are so lost in their mind that they can't find themselves in reality. So it's kind of like this, right? Fernando's an executor, and when I say executor, you don't really you don't have to execute in front of people. For example, what you said about the Jaguar players thing that really touched me because only a smart person is gonna understand that, right? You said that out there, and I guarantee you, the people that need to hear it, that's the only people you're worried about because what you said there. Annihilated listen, it ended war in every state and country that it could be in, but nobody's gonna see that because the way you said it was trying to protect integrity, even though somebody might come up here and not try to protect yours. Because after I understood what you had said about the barber things, it really touched my soul. You know why? Because it goes from somebody who's showing it to somebody who's doing it.
Well, one thing that my dad always taught me, you do the right thing as a man because it's the right thing to do, not because somebody does it wrong or anything. So I'm always going to do the right thing because it's the right thing to do because I'm a man, So just because you might have been a barber with me and you left and you did me wrong, that doesn't mean that I'm going to do you wrong because I'm still a man at the end of the day. Mm-hmm. But where I wanted to go with this is like I used to feel like that to where I did stuff and did stuff and did stuff and I was never like happy or complacent. Now, I'm going to tell you this. I do want to continue to do a lot of things. But when my mom died, I never took the time to work on myself. So I'm a be honest with you, and this works with business, relationship, friendship, whatever. A lot of people want a best friend, or a lot of people want a wife, or a husband, or a kid. But no, everybody's looking for the perfect one or the perfect person, but they never want to work on themselves. You have to understand: are you the right person for that person? So like, I'm gonna tell you this: God spoke to me through a person when my mom died, and He told me everything that He was gonna bless me in my life. And today I have all of that.
Me too.
And He's like, and this year is crazy because He spoke to me again. He was like, I gave it to you. I could take it away.
Fact. Hey, can I say something? I need to interrupt in there, bro, because it then got serious. It got real serious, and I've been trying to hold composure because I'm one of those people that like sometimes I have to drink my own medicine sometimes to see how the relief tastes. What you just said there just touched me so hard because everywhere I'm at, that runs through my mind, and people don't understand that a boss doesn't have to use his authority. Mm-hmm. His statue as a boss already says it all, and people don't understand that. Can you repeat what you said?
What about God? Yeah. If God gives it to you, He can take it away.
Right, look, and that's something. At least me, and I don't want to speak for you, but I think about that every second, and that's why I'm not the man that I should be. Like from everything that I've been through. That's why I think about like that. You know why? Because what he stated, being a man comes with those responsibilities. Because if we really turned out to be what they pictured us, what they've said, what they've done, we'd be horrible. But you know what? The reason we have what we have is because we waited our turn. Even though you try to skip a line to skip me through my progress, he has somebody that skipped him. And the fact that that person skipped him, whatever that person had to go through, he waited to that because that person wasn't experienced for that moment.
Yeah. And to go with that, again, we go back to the source. All these things, bro, all these shows that I do, barber shops, these are resources, bro.
Facts.
This is not my source. My main source is God and my family. That's so the reason that a lot of people feel empty is because they're putting their trust and their whole energy into the resources. You know what? At the end of the day, my son, we were playing basketball, and I saw a picture. I just posted it. I'm holding my son, and I'm smiling, bro. And I see myself. I'm like, bro, I never see how happy I am, bro. And in that moment, I was so happy. And I looked at myself. I'm like, bro, when I go into my shop, I'm happy, but I'm not smiling how I'm smiling here.
Mm-hmm.
You only smile when you bother Orlando.
But you get what I'm saying? Yeah, but what I'm trying to say with that is, bro, I'm more than just a barbershop owner. I'm a dad, bro. I got a kid that is looking up to me. Like, my wife need me. Like, you know, if I do this because it's what pays my bills, you know? So, like, we put so much focus on things that really don't matter. At the end of the day,
it's like you know, you're so used to doing the same thing every single day that you don't realize how much you're actually doing.
Hey, look, we left a very important thing, what you were saying about Fernando. Because he told me a while back, he's like, hey, we need to bring Fernando on the show. And I literally stated these words out of my mouth, bro. Like, it's so crazy because there's a gift that you have. And you can't sit here and lie to me because even if you did, I know you have it.
yeah.
You have a gift of knowing the unknowing, and it's weird because I feel it. You know, and everything is.
You know,
like,
something is going to happen before it happens.
Yeah, and it's really weird because your energy, like right now is even creeping me out.
That's why it doesn't bother you.
Well,
that's why when something happens, it doesn't bother you.
Yeah, facts. But the thing is, it's really creeping me out.
It's crazy, bro, because like I said earlier, bro, not everyone is able to do shit like
what bothers, this is the only thing that bothers me, and I don't really say this.
That people don't even
what bothers me is that I care for some people more than what they care about me.
Yeah.
You know, when I know something is going to happen and it happens, like it happened to me this year, somebody called me and they were like, yo, I'm going to do this. And I was like, you know what, bro, I already knew you was doing it. I knew this was coming. But, you know, what hurts me is not that you did it. What hurts me is that I really saw you like this.
Yeah.
Like, I saw you as a brother. And, you know, you didn't see me the same way. That's the only thing that hurts me. It's not that you left, because I knew you weren't leaving. You know, it's kind of like a Judas moment. Like, you know, I don't want to compare myself to that because that's the Almighty, but like, you know how Jesus knew like Judas was gonna, but when it actually happened, like, damn, Judas, like, you know, it's like almost like that, you know?
No, but this is a very big point in that, right? And this goes back down to what we were talking about when we were saying that we aren't selfish, right? This is the thing, right? When you see somebody, you don't see them for them, you see a potential. Exactly. So, like, it's crazy that he says that because, like I said, he's an executor, and there's a very big problem with the executor. That when you execute, you don't talk, but if you don't
expect
talk,
people to do it, and they don't. It's not
exactly. So that big point is a very failure moment because, going back to your point, right? Even though you saw it, we don't say it because we think that the potential you have so big in your head that everything's gonna unfold in your hands because you're that talented. So we don't really speak about it because I'm not gonna speak on the obvious. But it's kind of like people take it as, oh man, he didn't say nothing, or blah blah blah. Like you waited to this, you waited to that. But it's not you waited to this, you waited to that. Maybe if I would have said something, it wouldn't have interrupted your ego or would have interrupted anything that would have caused you to fail. And people don't see that. So when you become something and like you try to flaunt it at the other person, and it's so sad though because the other person saw you there before you even started that journey.
Bro, it's crazy because I have battles with my dad for years, bro. Like, and my dad tells me, yo, my dad tells me, yo, son, I got mad at him one time when he said, when I did something, he's like, oh, that doesn't surprise me. And I'm like, yo, like, you ain't even proud of me. He's like, bro, I already knew you was gonna do it.
Facts, that's
like,
me.
It's
that's
not
me.
surprising me because
that's me.
I know who you are. So it wasn't until, like, I'm grown to where, bro, like, if my son does something tomorrow, that's my son. I know what he could do because he got it on his DNA. So, like, you can't surprise me. So, like now that I'm a man, I understand.
Like dad and son, like, you know, like,
bro, but that's what you breed. You breed dogs, bro. And at the end of the day, just because you breed a dog, you don't change for nobody. This is what we breed here, and this is what we're gonna do. You set up the temperature. I remember one time when I was in worship, bro, there was a pastor that told me, we set the temperature here. And that stuck with me because you can come. I remember there was another person that was my mentor, James Price. He would walk. I was raised in Justine Road, so I was big on sagging pants and stuff. I see James Price coming into my school, which is my mentor. I was part of this program that was like the baddest kids in school. Like they were in that program. Mr. Price would come in. Shirt tucked in, looking nice, smelling good. He will set the temperature. No. This ain't DCPS. This is what you're gonna do here. And for some reason, I was one of the baddest kids at school, but with him, I never did anything bad. Just because he stopped me before. And that's how we gotta be with our kids, and that's how we gotta be with everybody that is around us. Nah, homie, you ain't cutting this way. You cutting this way because we breed dogs. We're dogs here. Like, you know, don't lower your level to anybody. If somebody's not willing to operate to 100%, they can go.
Look, we're going to go back to the third time of the topic of we were going to say, look, because it's a topic that I want to say it out there, and I even want you to understand what I'm talking about. Look, when we was in the limo, Alex was like, hey, you need to reach out to Fernando. You know what I told him? What did I tell you? I said, right now it's not the time to bring Fernando. I told him just like that, and everything I love.
Yeah.
And Alex reminded me again, right? And I said, it's not the right time to bring Fernando. So then Alex was like, bruh, do you know that, like, Fernando has, like, a big movement? Like we should really bring Fernando, right? And he stated it out loud, right? And you know what I told Alex? I said, listen, Fernando's still not the right time to come. You know why? Because Fernando's the last chapter. Yeah. Right? And when I say that is because this, right? Like, I see what you do, right? And a lot of people won't acknowledge you for you. They'll acknowledge Fernando, but they don't acknowledge Fernando for what he's done, right? To do what Fernando has done, you have to put his escalates on the table and see what he's done. No dummy does that. So every time I've said it, I stated Fernando does everything calculated. So everything Fernando lays on the table is because he constructed a way for that to be on the table. So I've said this, right? I said Fernando's not the time to come now because there's a chapter that he has to end to come to the table to understand. Nigga, I'm talking like.
But
you too though.
He's preaching, bro, and you won't let him preach.
No, but I mean, to you too. I mean, I told you beforehand. You can't say I didn't. Right or wrong? True. I told you that way before I even met Fernando because I didn't have to meet Fernando. From what Fernando already does, I could already see it because running what he does is nothing that I can count on because
I'm gonna add to that, bro, because you know before I came here, a lot of people told me talk your shit, you know. So like I got.
Hey, can I hold on? I have to say another thing. Can you say it for me? What am I gonna say?
I don't know, bro.
Hey, look, I'm gonna say this. I said, listen, no, but that's fine. I'll say that loud because I'm prideful to everything I say. So I'll tell you something today, and then 10 years from now, I'll tell you the same thing, bro. I said this, bro, because when I posted the flyer, everybody was hitting me up, and you know what I told him? I said, yo, Alex, Fernando's one of the most calculated people that I've seen in a long time. He's gonna come out here and he's not gonna talk shit because why? Because his success is gonna shut everybody down.
Yeah, and when I meet and that's where I was going. I'm not gonna
right or wrong
talk shit, but I'm gonna just talk facts. These are the facts.
Didn't I say that?
Talk fact, but listen, bro.
These are the facts, bro.
I literally said this, bro.
And I don't do this, and you won't see me doing this a lot. I'm 29 years old. I just turned 29, bro. By the time I was 18, I had my barber's license. By the time I was 21, I had one barbershop. By the time I was 22, I had my first expo. By the time I was 25, I had a kid. By the time I was 27, I had 4 barbershops. And before I'm 30, I'll have a school. I did all that while I was being a dad, while I was being a coach, while I was being a husband, while I was being a son. Now, let me tell you this. There's a lot of people that can be barbershop owners, but they cannot be expo creators. There are a lot of people that can be expo creators, but they cannot be multiple barbershop owners. There's a lot of people that could do all those 3, but they can be a solid father figure.
As a barber, and they can.
There's a lot of people that can do all those, but cannot be a honest husband. There's a lot of people that could be all those things, but cannot be a good son to where they could call their. So this is what I'm saying. Whatever you're gonna do, are you doing it to 100%? Right? Now,
that's funny, bro.
Somebody that has done 20% of that can come here and speak something about that. Have you been successful in all those areas?
Look,
and follow the record. Follow the record, you know.
I'm gonna say this, Fernando, right? Because like I say, I admire you a lot.
And before you say that, notice how I'm not saying I'm not perfect. I haven't been perfect in everything that I've done, but I've given my 100%. Go ahead.
Look, Fernando, like I said, I admire you a lot, right? And I'm not ashamed to say that
hey,
because
that's a speech, bro. I'm not gonna lie. That's like a motivation speech right there.
Yeah, because a lot of people
won't take that
a lot of people will be like, yo, I did this, you know, but I closed it on 1 month. You know, but
bro, that's what I'm saying, bro.
You know,
listen, bro, it sucks when you realize.
It's not doing it.
Listen, bro.
It's staying consistent, bro. That's why LeBron is LeBron, because he didn't just do it 1 year. He's done it for 20 years.
Look,
it's
bro,
not just can you do it. Everybody can do something, but nobody does
listen,
it.
this is the thing,
you
bro.
know?
Like, it sucks to see, bro, especially my generation, bro. Because, like, y'all older than me, bro. You're 2 years older than me, Fernandez. But to be, 5 years older than me, right? Bro, it sucks, especially my generation, how, people is not tapped in, bro. I feel like everybody's just, in this Narnia world.
Yeah.
And bro, people they don't have their foot in the ground.
Yeah, because they feel they're young. But
yes,
time doesn't wait on anybody,
that's
bro.
what I'm saying,
Time
bro.
goes by and it's gone.
Bro,
But
I try to speak to people.
Time is the
bro,
most expensive
especially people my
currency in the
age,
world, bro.
And, bro, I give them advice, bro, and they look at me like, that's young.
Yeah, but that's the thing, though. That's the thing. But as you as a wise person, you have to calculate who you give advice to.
I know, bro.
I'm gonna come to you. I'm gonna come to you, Alex. I told you this the other day.
Yeah, but that's fine.
I told you this the other day. I told Alex this the other day, and this is what a lot of people done. And I don't. If I'm telling you this type of thing, it's because I care about you. I don't do this with everybody. Alex told me the other day, yo, I want this. I want this. You want it? But how do you want it? Oh, I want it. Okay, where's your plan? I'm thinking, where's your plan, bro?
See what I be telling you?
Because you can't tell me you want something, but you don't have it written down,
I'm gonna say something. No, Fernando. Now that you're here, we finna talk on the podcast now, cause we about to hit 50 minutes. No, I'm gonna say something on podcast, cause now it's not just me, it's somebody else too, right? Look, Alex comes to me, right, and he gets upset with me all the time. I'm not gonna sugarcoat. I'm gonna say it on camera.
That's
look,
cool.
Alex gets upset at me all the time, right? Because Alex comes to me with plans that have no directions, they have no guides, they have no leads,
it's a
they
good
have
idea.
no process.
Yeah.
Yes, they're great ideas, but ideas without plans. Look, when you have a vision, bro.
If you plan to fail, you fail to plan.
Facts. That's what I tell you all the time. So it's like this, right? Alex gives me all these great ideas, right? And it pisses me off. It's like, it pisses me off so much that sometimes I don't even want to talk to Alex, bro. I go a day or two without talking to him. I'm like, bro, this, what he says out of his mouth pisses me off so much, because it's kind of like this, right? He'll tell me, like the end, Conjuring or something, and he'll paint it to me like the perfect that it will end, right? But he doesn't show me the way to start. It'll go, and it pisses me off, bro, because I see the potential.
It goes back to my dad, bro. Like when my dad, like I remember my dad, I would try to get the answer or something. He's like, well, look it up. He's like, I know the answer, but look it up. And my dad will, it's like this: you don't open doors and don't close them, right? So like, I believe this: when you have an idea, it's a God-given idea.
Facts.
Now, if God gave you the idea, what makes you think that God is not going to give you the tools to do those? But you got to wake up every single day and work towards it. Right down.
Fucked up if I get the idea and I keep it to myself. That's why it goes back to what I was saying earlier. I've noticed that if I come up with an idea, right, or anything in my head, I might not know how to put it into reality right away. But then I speak it to Chris, and I feel like he will manage a way to bring it into reality. So once we end the scenario, for example, this is a scenario that I already thought about. Now we in this scenario. Now I already know what to do in this scenario.
Yeah, but what we're trying to say is what I tell a lot of people, right? You're over here in step C. Mm-hmm. You jump B, A, and B.
I know.
For example, I want to open a company. Yo, I got the chairs. You don't even got an LLC. Mm-hmm. And I'm not saying you, but I'm just saying. But you know, did you know that if you open an LLC, you can get funding from certain places? I have the information. Yo, what you should do is I got an LLC. This is what I'm trying to do, or I'm talking, or you don't even need to have an LLC. Hey, I'm talking to a CPA or an accountant. This is what I got to do. This is how we do it. This is how much money it's gonna take. You probably don't even have the money, but just because you have that idea, bro.
See what I be telling you?
Before I open my barbershop, I knew how much I was gonna spend.
And I'm gonna say it like this. Because I be telling you this in hints, and it's really hard for me to get things.
But it's hard to do, though. It's hard to do.
Everything is hard.
But everything is hard, though.
Everything is hard.
Trust me, bro.
No. And stop saying trust. Nobody's gonna trust you. Nobody. But I want to say this, and I'm telling you the truth, bro. Nobody's gonna trust you. But check this out, right? Check this out. He said something great. Oh my God, it's crazy that he said that, because it's something that I say every day. I said, look, I told him this, right? I said, bro, listen. Even if you don't have the funding for your idea, you might be able to find somebody who has money and doesn't have money to fund ideas in their head.
Bro, I'm gonna be honest. When I did all my 4 shops, I didn't have the money. I had the idea though.
See that?
You know what? I was made. I was forced to open 4 shops. When I remember when I finished my my third show, bro. And I'm gonna speak a little bit. When I finished my third show, somebody came to my door, and this dude was shitting on me with money. He had 7 properties, bro. He had way more money than me, and he was like, "Yo, everything you touch works.
Facts.
Everything you touch works. We have to open more shops." I was like, "Bro, I'm not doing it." He's like, "I'm not telling you. I'm not asking you. Like, you're doing it."
You know what I'm about to say, right?
Yo, and he was like,
I'm trying to tell you.
He was like, "Here's $100,000. How are we gonna make it work?" The next day, I already had 2 locations.
We run it right now. Check this out, because Fernando, I gotta be.
Go ahead.
I gotta say it too, Fernando. This is crazy. This is what I tell you. I admire you, but I see what you do, and I
was not gonna do my show this 2025. I was not gonna do it. Guess what? So I went to New York. We're doing your show. Bam, money right there. Yeah, I was not gonna do it.
Well, what month?
I'm doing it July. I'm talking to. It's on the works. I got something coming. We need to come back to this to announce it, but it's coming.
Hey, Fernando, look, I want to say something, right? Too. As we speak right now, Fernando, look, I used to on Beach Boulevard right now. I have one of the biggest shops on Beach Boulevard, right? If not the biggest, being honest, right? One, if not big. Right, so check this out, right?
Like the more unique to yourself, like to somebody.
Not even to myself, because what you see, what goes in and out of there, nobody can just do. Because I can't be replaced. Just like him, there's no replacing. Like you could take my shoes, you can't wear them the way I do. But check this out, right? Every day I would pass Beach Boulevard, right, and I would see that shop, Fernando, and I say, God bless me with something like that, right? And I tell this to everybody. I fear asking God for things. I fear it. Like, I do not like asking God for things. I have the biggest fear in my heart because God is selfish to me. I ask God for a chicken, you know what? He gives me a farm. I ask God for water, he gives me a well. Like, it's coming to a point where I'm scared to ask God, right? So I got on my knees. I said, God, listen, I want a kid. You know what he did? He gave my sister 2. I said, listen, God, there was a point I was looking for a shop for like a decade. I was looking for a shop because I had somebody just like you who believed in me, right there. Listen, and people don't understand that. They're like, oh well, it might have been easier for you because this was handed to you. No, you know why it's harder? Because it's like this, right? Yeah, they gave Fernando the funds, you know. But what if Fernando didn't?
But how much time and money did I put way before? Like I opened a shop. Listen, let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. When I opened my first shop, bro, I remember, bro. It's funny because I was just cutting my mentor. His name is Rushabh Shakshi. His son is one of the top golfers in the world. I remember there was a trainer. I was working at Art of Shaving at the time, and this trainer, the owner of Total Body Bands, is Blake McCoy. We go back and forth because he also pushes me a lot. Like, I mean, our relationship is like a love and hate relationship because he's almost like you and him. He pushes me, and you know, I don't like it, but at the end of the day, he means well. So Blake McCoy came in and told me, if you can be on time and you can cut me, like you have a good client, I'll put you with all the top people. Put me with Rushabh Shakshi. Rushabh Shakshi is my mentor. And Rushabh told me, what the hell are you doing? Like, quit this job. Go open your own business. I didn't have money. And I remember I asked God the same thing. I was like, God, bless me. And I remember I sit down with a pastor, and he's like, Fernando, you've worked in the hood, and I've worked in the lowest of the lowest in the barbering industry, and I worked in the highest of the highest. If you know Powers Ave, I used to work there. If you know Art of Shaving is the highest you can go. Procter & Gamble owns it. Like, you know, that's what I used to do. So he's like, whatever you name it, you need to name it Urban Professional Barbershop. So it needs to have an urban and professional name. Because, you know, it kind of worked. So I remember I was like, God, like, I asked my dad, yo, I'm going to open a shop. He's like, did you pray to God? Did you pray to God? I prayed. And I remember I stopped and see Senor. And there's a place that said, for rent. And then I called. They wouldn't approve me. I was 21. And the next day, these people called me. You know, I was already... The name that I came up was Fade and Combs Barber Lounge. The reason that I came with fading combs is because the term fade was an urban thing back in the day. You couldn't use a fade back in the day in corporate America. They wouldn't let you. And then combs is because back in the day, a professional way was comb overs and stuff like that, right? So that's why it's called fading combs. And then it also has my initials, right? Fernando Corpse. But I didn't want it to be about me. I wanted it to be about people. And then barber lounges, because lounge, the definition of lounge is where a group of people can gather up and have fun. So I remember I went there. I had my LLC and everything. I didn't have a business. I had my LLC, everything ready to go. I had my business plan. Bro, if I could take my business plan tomorrow, I was gonna approve. I went and they disapproved me. They didn't approve me. And then the next day, the place calls me and tells me, if you have $5,000 here, we'll approve the place for you. I called the bank. I remember my dad will always tell me, you might not have money, but you're gonna have credit. And he gave me a loan for $4,000 because I had a car accident. I fixed up my car. And he would call me 2-3 times every single day. Did you pay? Did you pay? He would tell me to pay double or triple the amount every single month. And I was like, why? And the reason he did that was because he wanted me to have a good credit. And it created a good habit. I never been behind on any payment ever. Thank God. Never. Just because I always work and pay. So whenever I was going to open my business, I asked for a $25,000 loan to the bank. Now, this is the thing. When an investor sees that you put yourself at risk first, you have skin in the game, you bust your butt more than anybody else. So what I did was when I opened that business, I still didn't have enough money. I had to quit. And I remember the last day at my last job, my architect called me. He's like, Fernando, I got a good news and a bad news. I wasn't even open. I was like, bro, I don't even have a job. I'm gonna quit. I'm a fail. I haven't even started my business. I was like, I'm a fail. He's like, I have a good and a bad news. I was like, give me the bad news. The bad news is you have to pay $1,000 more. I was like, cool. What's the good news? The good news is that you'll be open Monday. So my barbershop was. So what I said is, I had 2 months free of rent to do a build out. I'm like, if I could build this. If I don't pay for paint, if I don't pay for nobody to build my stations, I save all this money. Now, the only way that I could possibly do this, if I wake up at 5 a.m. and I can cut people here and paint before I go to work, take a shower, go to work, and then when I get out, I cut more people, and then I finish painting, that's the only way that I can make it work. Because now I'm making more money, and now I'm doing all of this by myself, which it lowers the cost.
So you pretty much was like, instead of like investing that money with someone else.
I didn't have the money. I had to do it myself. I had no option. I had to do it myself. But that's the thing with people. They don't want to do it themselves. They always want somebody else to do the job for them, bro. Exactly. They don't want to wake up at 5 a.m. You know what? I've done that so many times, bro. For the past 8 years, I've done that. And that's how I started my business. But what I'm trying to say is, don't just think that funding came because God was great. God will bless you, but you have to do the hard part, bro. You have to wake up and grind every single day. The reason all these opportunities came by is because these people was like, this dude got skin in the game, and if we fall, this business cannot fail because he got too much time invested in to fail, bro. He got too, when they see you grinding, that's, bro, I know millionaires, I know people right now worth up to $500 million, and they're not even football players, bro. The people that I know with money, they don't even do anything. They still work every single day. Because I don't care how much money you have. Money's not going to stop you from working, bro. You as a human being, we have a duty, bro. We're not made to sit.
No, we are.
As a man, we're made to go out and hunt every single day, bro. If you sit, you get old, you die. You stop growing. I don't care how much money I got. I would never stop. I would slow down. I would water some other plants, you know, like when my son comes of age, I'm probably gonna go away from the shop and be with him because that's my duty. But you'll never stop, and you don't ever want to stop. But that's what I wanted to say. It's not like funding is gonna come. You got to put in the work.
You're like, damn, you're probably regretting.
So whenever I'm hard on somebody in my barbershop, that I'm like, clean, do this, is because I want to see how bad you want it.
Facts.
I want to see how bad you want it. If you can't handle me, you can't handle the world, and you won't do anything.
That's wild.
And my dad.
And it sucks. You know what sucks? That he has to come up here and like direct to what I be.
Yeah.
But that's everything. I
No,
be,
but you know what's crazy? I mean, like,
Bro, if you see people hopping from shop to shop and stuff like that, it'll never. Haven't you seen barbers that have the most talent and they hop around and there's always somebody else's fault? It's always somebody else's fault but them.
for sure. Yeah.
It's always somebody. It's almost like a man or a female
but
that
look,
date 20 people, but it never works. Have you ever thought you might
I
be the
see it.
problem?
No, hey, listen.
come on.
I was gonna say a name, but I ain't gonna put my name out there. But you know exactly who I was gonna say. TikTok, you know, no name, but that's crazy.
You know what I'm saying? So like, at one point you have to auto correct yourself and be like, yo, I'm messing up in this.
Facts.
Yeah, stop trying to correct others.
I'm bad in this. Yeah, so.
You know, like,
I'm
into you,
I'm
you know?
tough. Like my dad did that with me, bro. My dad. I remember when my dad had a huge divorce, and we were sleeping at my grandma's house, and it was hot, and there was mosquitoes and everything. My little brother says, dad, is hot, and my dad got up and he was crying, and as an adult, he told me, he's like, son, like, we're gonna work hard. We're never going through this again. And one time he looked at me. He's like, I know I'm tough on you, but I see big things. And he was like, and I remember he would wake me up, do construction. He had people working in the house, but he would wake me up and make me work. Because, and I understand now, bro, because every single time I could be traveling, and you've seen me do this. I could go and travel to New York and not sleep and come back, and I'm still at the shop the next day. Bro, because I got a kid that needs to be fed, and he didn't ask to come to this world, bro. I brought him to this world. So I want to make sure that my son sees a dad that grind. You don't quit, bro. I don't care if it hurts. You get up. We don't got time for this. You got to grind. So it's either you could sit there and cry about it, or you could get up and make something out of it.
And listen, I hate to end this podcast, but we're an hour or something minutes in here. It's just, I always say this, when time...
Ask some more questions. So this is the longest podcast you're going to have. So
all right, you know what? Let me throw a last question in there.
Let's just go with the questions quicker, though. So that way
there's too many questions here. Too many questions. Yeah, and then you know how that is with the editing. Boy, you know how editing goes. But
yeah.
I have
look, earlier you had said, like, oh, like, it's crazy that he had to come over here to say, bro, like, Fernando, like, be honest, bro, like, I've been in the shop and this and Monument, like, for how long now? Like,
you know you're gonna make this worse on yourself, right?
No.
All right,
I think you've been like a year.
No, hell no.
Yeah, it's about to be a year.
Location?
Well, it's
like
about
6 months, 7 months.
No.
I started this year, bro.
But a year, go ahead.
Hey, yeah.
But what else? Bro, chill out, bro.
No, because you're making it worse.
You're going on the year 2025. You're going.
But look, I'm saying this 'cause it's like, bro, like, have you noticed what's going on, bro? Like, bro, when I came to you one time, bro, like in 2018, 2019, I was like, bro, I'm gonna be a barber. Like, I told him, bro, I was like, straight up, bro, I didn't know how to hold a machine, bro. Like, I used to go in his shop, bro, and I used to work in lighting creation. Remember that I got kicked out, I got fired over there. I had to
But that's exactly what I'm saying. You were almost like forced to be in that situation, and that's okay. We're always gonna mess up, sure. But it you said it, but it was not your plan to happen like that. My plan. You know, so you have to be more intentional with what you want.
I never. But the thing is, like, I saw barbering like as a. I'm gonna be honest with you. I was one of those people who never saw barbering as an option. I'm gonna tell you why. Because I feel like every single barber, at least in that era, was not doing maybe what you're doing right now. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, everybody was like, they were not responsible. Most barbers, you know.
It wasn't seen as a career.
Exactly, because like barbering, right, gives people a lot of time. Like, you have a lot of freedom, and the thing is, like, not everybody's able.
This is not meant for the weak.
Exactly,
this is meant for the strong.
Not everybody's able to manage that. Like, everybody, like, you know, you have freedom. So it's like, you don't have to.
Bro, but it's like I tell people, bro. We live in a world, bro, that you could be a gamer and be successful. Have you thought about that? Yeah, it's you could play video games. So, like, if people tell me, "Oh, I can't do this because I'm a barber," bro, shut the hell up and just do something.
Bro, I'm not gonna lie. I'm glad that I went through that process of, like, not seeing the barbershop or, like, being a barber as a career or anything, and, like, before, because for some reason I feel like I had to go through all those experiences. Like, bro, I've worked in so many different places. I have so much experience, bro. I could do so much.
And I'm gonna add to you because I seen the edit that you did. Somebody say here in this podcast, a successful barbershop is the owner that cares. But this is what happens. A lot of times the owner will care and people don't care. So like this is what I'm saying. If the owner is taking this time out of his busy day to tell you what you're messing up at, and you don't listen, is that on the owner? So like that's the thing. Like we the owner might care, but you have to understand. The owner might not tell you lovey-dovey how your mom told you. He's gonna tell you on the way that yo tighten up. You know. So what I'm trying to tell you is that him taking time out of his day, that is caring. But I'ma even add to that. A lot of times, as an owner, I've cared about barbers. Do you think they care? Bro, the moment that they want to leave, they kick you and they go. They're only happy when they're eating from your plate, and then the moment that you can provide anything for them no more, they leave. There's another thing, bro. There's a lot of barbers. Like, bro, right now we have why does a barbershop have daily hours? Like you know, barbers don't respect them. Every barber want to be a boss until they have to be a boss. You know, if you tell them to come in at 9, no, I don't want to go in at 9. I'm my own boss. But whenever they're going to take 2-week vacation, oh, can you give me 2 weeks free? Oh, I thought you was your own boss. I thought you was your own boss. You feel me? You know? You know, they don't give me the rent free whenever I'm going to go, you know? So what I'm trying to say is like that relationship has to be like established early on. You like you feel me? Like, bro, how many barbers do we have that they leave bad reviews in the barbershop? The barbershop is slow. Yeah, they left us 10 bad reviews with your name, and now that it's slow because of you, now you just go somewhere else. So like, come on, bro. At the end of the day, you don't have to be an owner to take ownership.
Facts.
You're the owner of that 10 by 10. So clean up, like help out, you know, all these other things. So like, I feel like, yes, it's the owner has to care. But if the owner tells you, yo, like this is where we're messing up at, notice how I always say I never go to you and point out you like, oh, what you're wrong. Like I always say, we need to get better at this and stuff. It's collectively, you know, so we're always gotta get better at that.
I'm gonna say this last thing, right? Well, this is a good ass question. So I'm gonna ask one more question. But listen, I always say this. If you don't motivate me enough to see the vision that you have, your vision is trash. Hey, Fernando, listen. What's your superpower?
Bro, I guess is injecting the right energy to people. I think that's it. Like I think, and that thing comes from my mom. Like my mom had this voice that she could walk into a room and bring light.
That's another thing I wanted to mention.
Like
your mom used to be in radio.
Yeah, and you could agree to this, bro. And all my barbers said, oh, the energy is different. I could go into the barbershop, and the moment that I go in, is lit. Like, it's lit. People are coming in. Everybody's feeling energy.
No, and I know what he's saying because that's what happens when I go to the shop.
You know, that's my superpower. Like, I'm not going to let no situation dictate how my day is going to go. I'm going to dictate how my day is going to go. You know? So, we're going to turn it up. You know, so I guess that's my superpower.
You know, turn it up with some jazz.
Yeah, but because this is the thing, I'm gonna add to this, bro. It's not jazz or whatever, bro. A lot of people, bro.
Hey, but
you have barbers 2-3 years in the game. Oh, I charge $80. I charge $100. Bro, you don't even know how to clean your clippers and put a right environment in your barbershop. You feel me? So what I'm trying to say is, you have to read the crowd. If there is a lady and a young kid, I'm not going to put no trap that is talking about popping pills and shaking ass, bro. I'm just not going to do it. And if you don't want to do it, hey, there's one door in the front and one in the back. Whichever way is quicker for you to go out,
Fernando.
go out. So, you know, there's a time and place for everything.
See, what you're saying, that's the problem. That is the problem. Is the mentality of being a boss. That's the difference, though, because a boss who sees a mistake,
a leader, bro. That's the thing.
Facts, yeah.
I'm not a boss because if I am a boss, I'm the boss of bosses. I create bosses. But as a leader, is doing the right thing because it's the right thing to do. If you want to listen to whatever you want to listen, or you want to smoke weed or whatever, do it outside where you're not bothering none of these kids, bro. If you want to cuss outside when they. Bro, yeah, but these kids are innocent kids. But like, yeah, bro, but it's you know, learning jazz or learning R&B. Yeah, you could like trap. This is not, you're soft, bro. You're a smart person. You're learning different genres, different words, different things. I don't know where people got this thing. Oh, you're soft. Bro, you're at work, bro. We don't care about what you want to listen to.
No, that's not shots though. That's
but
We
look,
don't care about what you want to listen to.
Yeah.
We're trying to get money.
Facts.
If you want to charge $60, $70, you have to create an environment that is
$80
$80 worth, bro.
Facts.
If
So that
coming
means-
into my chair,
You have to, hey, listen, you have to play gas, bro.
Yo, a lot of people, $80. I just cut 20 heads. No clipper side on my clip. Come on, bro. You didn't even disinfect your clipper. You want to charge me $80, bro? Come on, you crazy, bro. You don't even know how to do a hot towel service. Like, bro, it's you could be the dopest barber in the world. But if, bro, and hey, go to your barber, do this. If your barber's charging you $80, open up his shaver. If his shaver has hair, deduct $20 from that cut. Open his open how you call it, the drawers. If the drawer has hair on the creasing and stuff, deduct $20. Bro, come on, bro. You want to charge what everything has to be. If your barber has flip-flops and has freaking mold on his nails or whatever, deduct $20.
okay, so you're gonna be cutting for free. Hey, have we said in the last podcast, cutting for free,
like,
boy?
yo, you gonna cut my hair? You got a tank top and hairy ass armpit on my face while you shaving me? Come on, bro. So like, we gotta take pride, bro, in what we do. This ain't no, bro. The reason I'm so passionate about this career is because it saved my life, bro. When I didn't have anything, and you know what? If you're cutting in the streets, cut in the street. But if you come into a shop and we running a business, I invested. Nobody's gonna understand because nobody had to get 150,000 racks out of their pocket to invest. So if you want to go because you don't want to operate under what I'm trying to say, that's cool. You didn't put no money to understand what I'm trying to tell you.
Facts.
You know? But don't come and shoot shots at me when you haven't even done it. You can't tell me because you haven't done it. You can't tell me what it is to be a successful owner or what it is to do this or that. And I'm not trying to talk to the person that said this, but I'm just saying it in general. A lot of people, you can't tell me a lot of things. You can't tell me how to be a manager if you haven't been a manager. You can't tell me, bro. It's like.
Do you think that's like a small mentality?
It's like football player. Whenever you're football, whenever coach is the coach, they've had to have a lot of time in football. For you can't coach me if you don't know anything about this, bro. I've had 16 years in this, bro. I've had 16 years. At 29 years, I've had 16 years. You know how many shops, how many hours I done put in this, bro? Bro, I do this, bro. And I'm not trying to say I'm the best barber. I'm probably far away. There's a lot of barbers that could cut better than me. Oh, but I can outwork you, bro. I'm going to be there before you. I'm going to do better service. And my clients are going to like me better than you. I fail a lot. There's a lot of clients that tell me, hey, I don't like your service today. Hey, come next time, I'm going to give you a free cut. And then I get better. There's a lot of things that happen, bro. That happens with every business, bro. You think Amazon doesn't get bad reviews or stuff? Every business is going to get bad reviews. Everybody's going to mess up. It's what you do from when you mess up.
The recovery.
What are you going to, are you going to just get mad? Oh, wait, if you don't like it, you could go to another shop. Yeah. Come on, bro. This person done paid you $40 every week. And that's how you treat them. If you don't like it, you're going to go somewhere else, bro. You got to have, like, some respect. There has to be some, and it's always a respect thing, bro. A lot of people want to talk about being real and stuff, but nobody's real. Nobody wants to be real to themselves. I have to be real to myself before anything.
We definitely debate here, like, in every single podcast, I feel like we definitely mention that. Like, how people is, like, struggling with that. Like,
and I want to add this. Everybody that's been in their podcast, they said their truth. There's a lot of truth in what everybody says. I don't want to discredit anything that people have said. There's a lot of truth on, there's a lot of people that say they charge something that they don't really charge. But I know a lot of people that do charge it, But the thing is, paperwork. I got my paperwork. You can see my receipts. I got receipts. I got real.
Hey,
okay. What's the most you have gotten paid for a cut?
Bro, I'm not the type of person that
Hey, yes, I had deja vu. I just had deja vu.
I don't.
Tell me. Okay, like an amount, kind of.
I don't ever disclose that, but I'm gonna tell you this: I sleep good every night. Mm-hmm. I don't have no worries somebody coming to me and take something away from me, and I'm about to buy my second property, thank God, in here in the United States. So I sleep good, but
And you have me in your team, so it's like,
I've had a 4-figure for a service. Yes, I've had it, but I don't think that when you're charging that or when somebody gives you that is because of your haircut is worth that much.
Nah.
I think it's because like, yo, like
your presence.
yo,
your-
like I admire your hustle. I'm gonna take care of you, right? Like when one time a football player did that for me, it actually happened by mistake, and I was like, yo, you gave me this much. He's like, bro, just keep it, bro. Like you work hard and stuff. You always take care of me. Just keep it. You know, so like, I've gotten paid good amounts, but I've also been the first one to do free cuts for kids that have autism. You know, how many barbershops do we go in today that people don't even want to take care of kids with autism because they have autism? Come on, you feel me? Like I ask God every day, please don't take that away from me to where, yeah, I want to make this amount of money, but I want to help people that are come on, bro. Like we can't even go to, you know how many barbers are making money? We can't even go to the shelter and cut people that are in need. Come on, bro. Like who are you as a person? Because I believe that barbers are the backbone of the community. And if you could charge $1,000 or $2,000, but you can't even walk down the street and people respect you, who are you?
Facts.
You know?
Hey.
So
KLK Promotions team, hey, listen, we're in 30 minutes in. This is definitely my longest podcast, but it's you know what? I don't want to say this in my mouth, but this podcast definitely holds one of the most values in it because of the truth that was said in here. Fernando, I would definitely love to have you back, man, because you're a person who doesn't hold back on the truth, and it's very hard for people to speak the truth. And before we close this out, Fernando, I want you to. What do you think about this? What do you think about KLK Promotions?
I like it, bro. I mean, I want to come. I actually, you didn't reach out to me directly, but I was, you know, I saw the stuff that you've been editing and stuff, and I was intrigued to come in, and I was like, you know, I'm going in there. But, I when I came in, I wanted to be light. You know, I didn't want to stir up the pot and make more mess. I wanted to be light and to the solution of this whole thing.
And it's crazy how that's crazy how I just the final chapter. That's the name of this podcast. The final chapter. Well, listen. You gonna say
what's some words you might want to put out there? What's coming up now? The holiday season's coming up. What we got coming, especially besides that. What's this partnerships you got going on? Like, what's the partnership?
Well, right now, my biggest partnership in the barbering industry is with That Urban Edge. So if you want to, you know, check them out, they're the best beard line product out there. They're straight out of New York. I'm done for the rest of the year. You know, I right now all I want to do is enjoy my family. Have Thanksgiving, sit down, eat, enjoy my son, enjoy my family, enjoy my wife, my all my family, and that's about it. Once I finish this year. Comes January, I could worry about other shows and stuff. That's one thing that I do want to tell people and barbers. Yeah, you want to charge all your money and stuff, but like, keep what made you in your life. You know, like don't take all these things away. So like, my family is what has me in the position that I am. So I'm gonna just enjoy them and I'm gonna give them the time. So that's all I'm focused on. If y'all want, I can come back in January and I can say wasn't
no. Listen, listen. We're not gonna invite you because we're gonna have you already on the list so you to come back because everything you said here really it changed my perspective, bro. Like it made the podcast better in a sense because now I see that like the presence that you bring to somebody is a presence that they take home too because that's what makes somebody want to be around you as well. But KLK Promotions team, listen, we appreciate you. We appreciate you guys for the love you guys been showing. There's a lot of messages that I've seen hitting in the cuts that I've been posting because it's not what you guys want, but you have to remember that in a podcast there has to be all types of audience in everything you do in the world. So it's a message I wanted to throw out there because I've been seeing the genres that y'all want, but it's kind of like this, right? It's like I might throw a flock out there, I might throw a flock at this, but it's kind of like this, right? When the sun shines, it gives everybody the taste, you know. But listen, Fernando, I appreciate you for coming through, man, because it was an honor to be honest with you, man, because your knowledge level is gonna travel. Whoa. Hey, listen, your knowledge level is going to travel through this podcast and reach the certain people that it needs to reach. So, KLK Promotions team, we out. Boom! I had a count of 3. Hold up.